Girls, it's time to go trucking. Little bit colder today. My phone says it's 1 degree Fahrenheit, which I looked up is about 17 degrees Celsius. And we have 7 or 8 loads left on this contract. We give the dogs water, by the way. They just, I don't know, they're weird. They choose that. We should finish today. I'm gonna check the oil, check some tires, get things going before the guys show up here. Thank you to Farmers Business Network again for their continued support. Right now, new members get $1,000 off their first purchase and 0% financing through August. Oil's good, belts look good, everything has been running. I won't even say it because it's our last day. Quickest and easiest way to check for a tire that's lost a bunch of air is the old hammer test. Morning.
It's foggy by the church.
Was it?
Yes.
Was it foggy away from the church?
Well, I ran into about Norman's.
Oil's good on these other 2 trucks. We got 1 tire that's down a few pounds we're gonna add some air to. But we're gonna do it after we back it out because it's gonna be easier to reach it from the door. Dad's truck is out. I'm gonna back this one out and put a little bit of air in the 1 tire that needs it. See, it's a lot closer to park right here by where we hang the hose rather than stretch it out across that whole shop. A little bit colder, but it's only 1 tire and it's only 20 pounds. Todd's out of here. There goes the next 2 loads. And I don't know if I told you guys yet or not. I don't remember, but Dad did the math. He's gonna call down there just to make sure his math is correct, but it sounds like there's only 6 loads to go. So when these guys get back, we'll load 3 full trucks again. They'll make the final runs and that'll be a whole bunch of corn delivered there this week. Dang near half of last year's corn crop that's in the bins. Both Dad and Todd mentioned the fog, which was kind of a surprise to me because 40 minutes ago when I walked in the shop, there wasn't any. But there is definitely some fog now. I don't know if the camera can pick that up or not, but it's not bad. Well, Anna and I got some bills paid and some emails answered. Meanwhile, Todd got a load down and he's back, so I'm gonna get him loaded up so I can get him out of here because there's 2 more trucks coming behind him. You 2. It's the cycle. Todd says it's not warm enough in the truck. You can't keep any of these guys happy these days. It gets down to around 0 degrees and without heating the truck, all they do is whine. Actually, that's my 1 requirement. I don't care which truck I'm in, but the heat's got to be decent. I think we located the filter. 5 seconds. So once he's loaded up, we'll swing him around to the shop, blow the filters out. Yep, right there. Okay, Todd, you're full. Swing that around in front of the shop here. I'll just bring it down.
Oh, okay.
Put in a quick call to my buddy Chase over at Mike's Truck Sales in Starbuck, and he let me know right where these filters are at, how to get them out in there. He said it's how to get them out of there. Apparently it's just a poor design with all our corn dust. Builds up on the filter, then the fan can't push any air. And when it's 0 degrees out, apparently Todd thinks he needs heat. So there's heat there, the fan's working, it just can't push the air. Well, it sounds like this is probably our issue. There must be 2 of them here. Maybe I gotta get this one out first. And look at that. Some of this might be the issue. Yeah, I think we're gonna vacuum that out and blow the filters out. I'm gonna go make sure we don't overfill a truck. Now you, clean your filters. It's a good thing he's got a hard head. You have to be around here. Dad's back with his truck, so he's handling that now. I'll go make sure Todd knows how to run a vacuum. Almost? Almost. Yeah. Should we cut that? Got it.
Moment of truth.
Moment of truth. Now it's going to be hotter than hell in there for you. Next thing you know, he'll be whining about the AC not working. Hopefully that fixes it for him. I'm sure he'll let me know if it doesn't. You snuck in here.
Do you, dude?
I didn't even see you drive up. You're stealthy like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we We almost got through that without having to shovel anymore.
Big pile too, isn't it?
Big pile. Before. That actually didn't happen from overfilling a truck. That happened because one of the hoppers got left open about an inch. So it was running out as we were loading it and it didn't get caught. It happens. The old Moline is still pretty handy to have around. Dad's gonna load all 3 trucks one more time when they get back, and then he's actually gonna be done by lunchtime. I'm already on my way to my next venture of the day. I'm headed out to pick up Randy, my buddy, the master pipe layer, and we are gonna go to a Hutterite colony. We're gonna go check out a brand new hog barn that I don't wanna say much until I actually know what I'm getting into. So, hey, stick around. So this is the Big Stone Colony. I'm not too far from Graceville, Minnesota right now. Randy is here already. This is a large place. I'm trying to figure out exactly where I'm supposed to be, but I believe that's Randy's vehicle.
You guys didn't work? No. You gotta help us with it.
We're gonna head down to the far south end of the building, which is about, it looks like 3 to 4 miles.
Yeah.
And Randy's gonna take us on this tour and explain exactly how pig farms work.
Correct, I got it all.
He's got it all. Go ahead, Professor Randy.
Well, this is where the pigs have piglets. What do you call it?
Farrowing.
Farrowing. This is the farrowing barn. So there'll be a wall up there and a wall there. So this will be one small room.
So they got 2 crates set up right now. That's what you call them, crates, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We're getting this.
We're
So there'll be crates set up all the way along here, all the way down. So there'll be 8 to a row.
8 on a row. Okay, so these are the pits underneath here.
Put the hog in here. You call it a hog at this point?
Mama pig?
Mama pig. Sow. She has a piglets. So the pigs can come out here and the sow cannot, correct?
That's right.
And that's what this is for, so that she doesn't end up laying on the pigs.
Or come out from underneath.
Come out.
Keeps the baby pigs safe to let them roam around out here while mom is.
Yeah, and then there'll be a gate here, and then there'll be another crate here. So the piglets can only go, you know, they're stuck with mom. And then there's heat lamps here. They can stay warm.
Keep them warm.
Keep them warm. Keep them with mom, and then they go for 2 weeks, and then they get weaned off after 2 weeks. 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
21
Okay.
days.
And then where do they go, Randy?
Well, then.
It's like an episode of Magic School Bus. Except with a couple of guys that have no clue what's going on.
So the piglets then go out and they go to another barn. They go to a nursery barn.
Nursery barn.
And then mom pig comes out and she goes to the breeding barn.
There's definitely not a guy back here making sure Randy says everything correct.
Correct. I had it all up here when we started.
These crates, one of the interesting things about them is they've got these, I don't know, swinging gate or swinging sides here, so you can open it up so that once mom is done farrowing, you can actually open the crate up so it's wider in there. She can turn around inside there. Randy, go in there, get on your hands and knees and show us how you can turn around inside there. Each crate has got its own feeder that actually, does it read a chip in the hog's ear? No chip, okay, but it rations the feed that she needs, so after she farrows it bumps the calories up, and it kind of slowly builds the calories up to what she needs, and then I'd assume does it lower them back down again over time? No, not till.
That way while they're milking.
It's that way while they're milking. Okay, sure, because she needs the extra calories. They've got these bumper bars inside here so that mom she can lay down then, right? And then when she wants to roll over and stuff, she can get a little bit more room here. You can see that the crates have a slat floor underneath them so that all the manure actually falls right through and into the pit here. The pit is sloped. There's a drain down on each end. And that over there's gonna be one on each pit, but that actually is a counterbalanced trough that will dump water to flush these pits out every so often. This is the control room. This is like mission control.
Yes.
Everything you need to do. So this is gonna monitor temperatures in the barn. Looks like fans What else? What else, Randy?
Monitor the water.
Inlets, water. But over here on this computer now, you said you can scan the individual animals. You can go up and scan their ear tag. There's an ear tag right there. That you can scan and it'll show you all the information while you're out there about the individual animals.
It's a Fitbit.
It's a Fitbit, yeah. It's a pig bit. We're back in the main new part of the barn now. They're having kind of an open house and lunch deal going on in here.
Well, this is where they come from once they've had the piglets. They've been with them for 3 weeks. They wean them. They come back here, and then they're in their own little pen of 10 for 7 days.
10, and they can get in and out of here. Let's see if we can see if Randy and I can remember how to open these. This one's unlocked here. When the sows are in there, if they want to get out, they just push on it with their rear end, and then they're out into this open area that they can come out and hang out with Randy. Then once they realize that Randy's the person he is, they decide they want back in the crate to get away from Randy. And they can push on that with their nose. How do I unlock it? Crawl in there, Randy. Anyway.
She has to push on the front.
Yep. And then she's back in the crate to get food and water.
So then when this comes down, then she's protected from the other sows. So she's in her own little safe space. She can come and go as she pleases. But when she wants to be in there away from the other sows, she's got her own little safe spot.
And the reason they're doing that is because there's usually some dominant sows in the group that'll start trying to beat up on the other ones, and so that's just one way to make sure they can all protect themselves. Again, you'll notice the slat floor. The manure will run through into the pit. We'll get down to that end later, and we'll show you underneath the floor where the scrapers are to pull everything in the pits. It's actually a shallow pit. All right, once they leave that area back there, they come into the pen here. So in this building is 100 feet by 200 feet. There are 8 pens through here.
8 pens.
And there's 100
pigs per pen.
100 pigs per pen.
Which is 26 feet per pig.
26 square feet per pig. 2 feeders. These are the feeders here. These are waterers hanging down. And these are not gates that close. These are just kind of dividers so they can sleep in the corners and wherever.
They do have a hospital pen.
They do have a hospital pen here.
If they have an ornery pig or one that's not feeling good and need special care, they can segregate that one out.
Yep. Which hopefully they don't really need. Correct. They don't want to put them in there, but they've got it. Automatic waters all the time, which they've got another room that will be blending electrolytes in with the water.
They have to go through here to get feed. So to let them in twice a day, they get a certain amount of feed each time they go in there. So they got the little earpiece. This is in their ear.
It reads their Fitbit. Uh-oh.
I got a bad Fitbit.
Maybe that's because that's the demo one. They used it twice already today.
Has this one been through too many times?
I swear it was cool earlier when they did it. We'll show you guys here. There we go.
I was doing it wrong.
You were doing it wrong.
I wasn't at sound level.
Now when she does that, it's going to let her in.
Comes in here. Oh, I got to get lower or what?
There we go.
You should hit this sensor.
Oh, it hits the second sensor to close the door behind her.
Okay.
We're all over the
so
place.
If that eye is not hit, you go into this gate.
Yep.
There's an electronic eye.
Okay.
When it sees the sow actually go in here, then the gate closes, so there's not another sow running right behind her.
Okay.
And that's how the system knows, okay, now I have to close the gate because the sows are really at least partially in here.
Sure.
And then she goes in and now everything is good to go.
Then she comes in, she gets her own amount of feed for who she is, correct?
Yeah.
Because it's reading the earpiece, so it knows who it is and how much feed she should get.
Yep.
It also gives her some water in there, so when she's eating, she can get her water.
Yep.
And then she
she's
comes
got
through.
to go through 2 gates.
How do I open this one then?
I think that one she just pushes on, right?
Push gate.
And those gates are to keep other ones from trying to outsmart the system and come in backwards when one's leaving.
Oh, and then they can also kick her out. So if they want her sorted out of the barn, they can put that in so when she comes in here, it'll kick her out into the middle.
Yep. Do we want to get into why it might kick them out?
Well, one way, so the barn itself can detect if she is pregnant. If she's not pregnant, it'll kick her out in the middle. That's how they know she isn't pregnant.
Which means she needs to be bred again.
Correct. And we can show you how they know if they're pregnant.
Tell us, Randy.
Is that close enough?
Yeah, the system knows by day numbers if she is pregnant. This is not to check if she's pregnant.
This is to see if she's in
To
heat.
check if she's in heat.
Oh,
And when
Okay.
she's in heat, the guys, they have like a scanner, they have an ultrasonic meter, right? They usually check, they check them.
yep.
So they put that meter there, they check if they have sows or if they have relays or anything in there.
Okay.
Okay, so when they're pregnant, then the farmer basically tells the system she's pregnant. They know the impregnation date, and then from there it starts counting.
Okay.
And the day numbers are in the system, so it tells each sow is 10 days, 50 days, 100 days, whatever amount of days it takes, and it takes about 114 days.
Okay.
So the system knows that, and you can say, okay, when you hit 100 and let's say 11 days, just kicks the sow out into the hallway, so she's ready to be moved to the feral section of the barn.
Correct. Just like I said.
Yeah. The system doesn't check if she's pregnant.
Now, what is this horrible area for, Randy?
So this poor bastard. There's a sow that sits in here.
A boar.
A boar.
A boar.
I'm getting educated here. A boar.
A bit like us.
Like
Big,
us.
big,
Correct.
disgusting
There's
male
a boar
pig.
in here that just walks around. So then if there's a sow in here that's in heat, and she comes up here 12 times a day, there's a certain amount of times.
Just to visit and taunt him.
If she's trying to find this boar so many times a day, then they know she's in heat, and then that'll kick her out. So this guy spends his whole time just cruising around here, doesn't actually get to do anything.
Nothing.
He's a decoy.
They just call that a house for us.
He's a married man.
Oh, but there is.
He gets to look through the window.
So they said in this barn there'll be four boars,
And they rotate
and
them
they'll rotate them around
to the
So-
different pens.
Right. So then they can, if one's not there tight.
Yeah, I get it. It's the north end of the barn here. We're going to lift up the end of the floor and show you guys what's underneath the floor. In the basement. It's got a shallow basement under it. There we are. There's our floor, slat floor. And this is where the manure is going to come through. We've got scrapers on cables here. So there's a scraper here. There's a scraper over on Randy's side,
That's all the way at the back.
all the way at the back, on the other end of the building. And they're run by this electric winch up here that's going to move them back and forth. So one at a time is going to pull the manure forward.
And this one comes forward, this one goes back.
And oh, you got the drain on your side right there. So then that must pump to the outside
So then this
where they can
goes
connect the
down,
drag line.
And then this goes to the manure pit.
Oh,
They have an outside.
to the lagoon, that's
Yep.
right. Pretty much all the metal you see in this place is stainless. They've got a lot of stuff made out of poly just to keep the corrosion down, because obviously when you're dealing with manure, you're running into a lot of corrosion issues. We're in the feed mill. The colony here you guys built this over a few years.
Yes.
Took a lot of time, a lot of planning. You guys have got your own stainless shop over there. Metal fabricating shop.
But this mill is designed to have 30 ton go through an hour.
30 ton per hour.
Designed around 30 tons per hour mixing.
And what we're looking at behind us here is all, you call them trace minerals.
Micro ingredients and the tote ingredients.
Micro and tote ingredients. So they've got the motors on here that weigh it all out, that dump in specific amounts of the trace minerals, and then they're conveying it down into the mixer down there. They've got the tote ingredients here, because these ones you're blending in, what are they, 30, 40, 50 pound bags of stuff to keep the hoppers full.
50 pound bags, yes.
50 pound bags. And then down there you're using ingredients where you wouldn't bother with 50 pound bags.
No, just bigger. The bigger bins are 36 ton, then they're half bins. What we call half bins, they're 18 ton.
Yeah, that's
18
correct. So you can get your VTMs and the smaller ones, like your soybean meal and your corn in the larger ones.
And there's like 10 overhead, 9? How many overhead bins was there?
25 total.
25.
Yes.
25. Because that was the distributor we saw up top there. Was it 20?
It's a 24
hole
inch
distributor?
Full around 60 degree for so you get your feed to flow at 60 degrees versus your grain handling and corn would be 45 degrees.
And you guys built all that too, the distributor, the plumbing.
Yeah, shop built.
Shop built.
Yes.
But right here on the farm.
You bet.
Very cool. What does the big gray funnel do in here?
So the big gray hopper is the primary scale hopper. You weigh your main ingredients into the scale hopper, and then once the ingredients are measured out, they drop into the mixer. The mixer blends everything together and then sends it up the bucket elevators for loadout.
And then as that's mixing, or maybe before it's mixing, it's pulling trace and tote minerals from over here, is that right?
Yes, the tote system has the bigger volume ingredients, and the micro system is for the trace minerals, for the smaller quantity.
And it's mixing it all together right there in the mixer. How long does that take?
It takes 5 to 6 minutes a batch, a 3-ton batch.
And this is all automated, so it's actually controlling on the computer system, right? On the software system.
Yes.
It's controlling exactly, precisely how much of each ingredient that it puts in into each mix to blend exactly what they want for whatever they're feeding. We're upstairs now, and we're looking at where we're bringing in ingredients here. These are all the large ingredients, right?
Yep, corn, soybean meal, whatever else.
So this is the top of the gray funnel that we were looking at downstairs that drops into the mixer. This is where...
And this is where it weighs it.
Oh yeah, there's...
That's where the scale, so everything drops into here, gets weighed out.
It's got load cells all around it here. And again, everything up here is 100% built right here on the farm by them at the colony right here. That is the loadout spout right here. So this is the room where they're loading the feed trucks out. And they're dumping raw materials in that side.
So everything comes in and out of here. It's
Yeah.
heated and cooled for moisture.
And there is the exterior view. This is the building we were just in. Everything across the way, did you say that was all corn?
Yes.
All corn over there. And up there, that is the 24-hole all stainless distributor. I'm ready. Let's see what it does.
Let's see what this one can do. Coming up right.
Lasering. I thought it was supposed to be mounted to shark's head.
That is a shark's head.
Oh, that's a shark's, oh, with a frickin' laser beam on it. So this is the steel shop where they're doing all the steel work here. This is where they build everything for the grain handling facility. A lot of the stainless stuff that goes into the new barn, right?
Yeah.
Everything, when they're building it themselves here on the colony, it's all coming out of this shop.
Coming out of this shop and a lot of customer jobs.
Right here on the same site. Yeah, and customer jobs, big jobs. A lot of stuff coming in and out of here.
This is a 3500 watt slab resonator, so it's a laser cutter. So basically it's cutting with light. The light, you're then exciting it, forming a laser beam, and then you're cutting metal with it.
Yep.
Very simple science.
And it sounds like you've got a new one coming that's going to cut easily 1 inch, I was told.
Yeah, so we're hoping to get into a quarter out of it.
That's crazy. What are we bending?
Bending part, stainless part. 12 gauge stainless.
12 gauge stainless.
Excellent repeatability.
What is that? What are you making there?
These are actual parts for our hog barn.
Okay. Is it perfect?
I think it's pretty good.
Better than perfect.
We're building this for Randy, the master pipe layer in Clinton, Minnesota.
Big Stone Egg?
Big Stone egg, yeah.
He's not lying.
So it's a third model 36 grain elevator. Got it drawn up on CAD. So this is our discharge.
And they'll build that whole thing in-house.
Well, that's that. I got to thank everybody from the Big Stone Colony here for the hospitality and for lunch. We had pork sandwiches and beans inside of a hog barn that had never had hogs in it yet, so it was really cool. Got to see their shop. They do a ton of business out of that shop, build a lot of stuff for a lot of people. So if you're looking for any work, look them up. There's a lot of work that goes on out here.